there is a summer sweep up change that we're going to go through very quickly. Now, they've made this blog update. Let's have a look. The Sweeup axe, and our initial proposal here was to lower the maximum stack count on the axe, but increase the damage bonus offered. Okay, so you'd spend less time ramping up your damage. On the surface of things, this was fine, but many of you felt as though it didn't address the core reason that the Sweeup axe feels annoying to use, namely the self-damage and ramping, having to ramp up between kills or during intermission phases. Okay, so what they'd like to do instead, we'd like to instead propose striking our initial stack-related changes from the record and adjusting the Sweeup axe as follows. Gains 4 strength bonus. This is unchanged from our initial proposal. Stack limit remains at 5 with 6% damage bonus gained per stack. Stacks take 50 ticks to start decrementing, up from 20, which means that, okay, so it lasts fuck tons longer, 2.5x longer. No longer drain HP. Special attack now gains 12% accuracy per stack, up from 6%. And special attack now gains 6% up from per stack. Was it not always 6% minimum hit? Oh, 6% minimum hit. Oh, okay. Right, so you don't get healed then, but you don't take damage, so you don't get health back, right? Yes, you should say how to mum on YouTube. Absolutely, yeah, absolutely, for sure. So I think making it deal no damage is not the idea. That's the whole idea of the weapon. Now it's just normal axe with more damage. Yeah, so you're not getting increased strength now though with your spec. You're just getting increased minimum hit. So doesn't that make the axe a little bit shitter, right? I mean, no, not really, because it gains strength as it's gaining the stacks, right? 6% damage bonus per stack. You don't lose health, so it doesn't heal you either, which makes sense. You do get more accuracy when speccing, and you get minimum hit. No HP gain sounds huge, but losing the HP gain back sounds kind of bad. Well, you don't get any HP back because you're not losing HP using it. Pretty sure SRA on Crush is going to be better than Inquis Mace without outside of Fasani. I mean, maybe. I don't know. It's gonna depend on what the Inquisitor gear changes are here. I don't use the Sweeup axe. I don't know. This sounds like it's just more convenient to use, but not stronger. Okay. My advice: get a scythe. Now, Inquisitors gear changes. So the aim here is to bring Inquisitors offensive statting in line with Oathplate, while also reducing the reliance on our full set plus Inquisitors mace combo, instead hoping to make each piece shine brighter individually for raids 4. However, our numbers yesterday resulted in weakening Crush at the top end, which is not what our intent was. Alright, so the Inquisitor's helmet gains +2 strength, Crush accuracy and strength bonus to match Oathplate. Additionally, provides 0.5 bonus to Crush damage and Crush accuracy. What the fuck? This boost is no longer increased by the set effect or when using Inquisitor's mace specifically. It was already like that, but before though, right? So that's just wasn't it always 0.5%? It's just no longer like a set bonus thing. Where's the Inquisitor's helmet? Hold on. Not mace. Helm. Inquisitor's. Oh, yeah. So basically, it's just keeping. It's okay. So that's what it already has, right? Yeah, it says additionally, but right now the Inquisitor's helmet already does boost damage and accuracy by 0.5% when using the Crush attack style. It just doesn't get the increase to 2.5% when using like if all 3 pieces are equipped. So it's. I mean, is it additionally? Probably not. I would just say they're just not removing it, right? Inquisitor's Hallberg gains 4 accuracy on Crush, but no strength. Additionally, provides +1% bonus to Crush damage, so that's actually getting a buff. Damage and accuracy up from 0.5%. This boost no longer increased by the set effect. That's fine. Inquisitor's Plate Skirt gains no Crush accuracy or strength, since it already matches O-Plate equivalent. Additionally, provides +1% bonus to Crush damage and Crush accuracy up from 0.5%. Okay, so basically, they've just reverted the changes and added a Crush accuracy and strength bonus to the helmet and hallberg. Yeah, so that they've aligned the stats with Oathplate, and then they've kept the percentage bonus that Inquisitors always had. Instead of getting 2.5% when you wear the full set, you just get 2.5% when you wear the full set. Okay, that's what I'm reading. Right? We're correct, yeah. Basically, this is huge. This is a big. Okay, this is massive. Okay, so okay, Inquisitor's mace gains 7 strength bonus, up from 5. And 7 crush accuracy. This guarantees a max hit in all setups. It might be +2. So I think the mace is going to sit well far ahead of the Sober Axe then still. Yeah. Sober Axe worth going for now? No, the mace is probably better still at this point. No? Do you not think? All this does is... Oh, no, because it doesn't get the 7.5%. Sorry, you're right. Yes. No. Yeah, the Inquisitor's mace loses that 5%. You're correct. Go for a scythe. Mace or scythe still, I would say, but yeah. So Sober Axe, I mean, it really, I don't know. Just go for a scythe. Skip the axe. To top this off, we'll be removing any negative stab or slash bonuses from Inquisitor's armor. Dude, this is a massive buff. This is huge. That's big. These numbers should shake out more or less as they do currently, with some better accuracy in the mix and better future-proofing. Yeah, no, that's fucking huge. Okay, so they've made Inquisitors good again. Now is the time to invest in Inquisitors. That is, yeah, okay, so it's actually had a mad buff here. That's fucking big. Before moving on to other topics, Tonald's Ticks of Ralos was something... What the fuck? Was something that many of you felt could do with a little extra juice. While we don't think the item itself is bad, we do think it could do with more use cases to make it stand out. To make those use cases easier to develop, since there's a fairly complex relationship between defense level and we'd like to make some small improvements. Special attack buff to reduce opponent's defense by 12.5% of its magic level per hit, up from 10%. Special attack buff to grant plus 50% increased accuracy. Very good. Firing Sober Axe is so troll. It is, yeah. Don't do the Sober Axe. This is a massive Inquisitor change. This is actually diabolically huge. Suggestions related to the Grazi Rapier have been a hot topic lately, particularly the idea of making it 3-tick. No, stop. See, this is... I can't mention No Monkey because if you give any criticism to No Monkey, it's just hate. But if I criticize any content creator, it's totally fine. I know it's from a Reddit post and he pushed this idea. It's a fucking dumb idea. No. We're not inherently opposed to the idea. You should be, but aren't confident that we have the time to get these numbers right in a way that is safe long-term. Viable 3-tick weapons benefit disproportionately from any increases in strength bonus from any gear, meaning this isn't something that we're keen to explore right now, just because it might be satisfying. Naturally, some weapons like the Scythe of Vitur also benefit disproportionately from strength bonus, but we feel this is less of an issue for Mega Res. Yes, so fuck that off. Ignore it, stop pushing shit ideas. We'll be expanding the scope of the Gomel's Lucky Penny to passive effect, so that it will preserve charges on the Amulet of Blood Fury. Thank you, as it fucking should. Admittedly, the plan is that it won't be an item post sweep up, but it seemed the most appropriate place to mention this change. Thank you. Despite it being a nerf, most of you seemed understanding of the change would like to make to Burning Claws. Some players pointed out that they enjoyed the niche use in CM Chambers of Xeric on Ice Demon, which helped move away from relatively tedious Magic Cape spell swaps. Yes, perfect. We'll be exploring an increase to Ice Demon's Demon Bane vulnerability to see whether or not we can still have Burning Claws occupy the space. Yeah, if you could still 3-hit it with a Surge Potion, I'm okay with it. We've adjusted our Rosewood Blowpipe proposal to remove the reduced accuracy on the special attack. This is a small conundrum for us, since the Doom of Makado finally gave Dragon Knives their first ever PVM-related use case. Leaving the Rosewood Blowpipe special attack untouched, while also allowing Rune Darts effectively removes this use case instantly. Yeah, I don't care about that. While not strictly gear related, we've updated the crystal shard numbers in the Gauntlet Prep Changes segment of the main sweep up blog so that they're accurate. Okay. Skilling changes. Some players ask what the point of the Mulch Pearl refund or aerial fishing is if there's nothing to purchase. So we've added Shark Lures. That's actually big. Shark Lures are massive. Opting not to adjust the recipe for energy potions. Many of you point out that Highlanders are much more plentiful than Guams. Guams past a certain point. Doesn't seem as though anybody is particularly overjoyed. Yeah, no one cares about that shit. We looked at adding another agility shortcut to the mix by way of stepping across the River Lum just south of the Champions Guild. Okay. Birdhouses. To our surprise, we didn't see much discussion about our desire to nerf birdhouses as we'd expected. Perhaps this is because you agree that it's justified. No. We're more focused on other changes. Okay, in an effort to make things feel a little more real and drum up some proper discussion, we'd like to put some numbers in front of you. Okay, we'd like to reiterate that we're not 100% committed. Okay, so what do you want to do? Prospective bird nest changes. Buff. Number of rolls for nests will, from all tiers of birdhouse, lowered from 10 to 5. Success rate on any given roll for a nest is tripled. These changes amount to 50% increase in the number of nests obtained and should make the quantity you obtain more consistent and less spiky so that you're not overfilling your inventory on some runs. I don't think I've ever filled my inventory on a birdhouse run, and I do redwood. And then they want to decrease all XP except redwood birdhouse changes. So they're effectively forcing birdhouses to be Ironman only content. Mains won't do this anymore. I'm up to redwood, so I don't care, but any other account I play, it's going to suck. I think it's a stupid change. Stupid. Hunter sucks. Naturally, at the lower tiers, this is, as we said in the blog, in the initial blog, a big reduction. It might be the case that other buffs yeah, look, I think it's dumb. I will take more bird's nests, absolutely, but I think if you're gonna get more bird's nests, less XP does make sense. I do birdhouse runs once a week, so there you go. Now this one's also drummed up a little less chatter than we'd anticipated. Are you sure? Based on an early read, it feels like narrowing down our list of proposal approaches would be a stronger place to start from. So we'd like to whittle out our options down to 2. Unique reroll mechanic, including some clarifications. This is our more complicated option. No, it's pretty straightforward. One that does solve most of our problems. So it seems as though many of you agree that this does solve those problems, but did have issues with how the system like this feels alongside concerns about us setting a precedent for options like this. So the aim here is to allow players to reroll anything, not just pro scores. Wow. I think that's a mistake. This means that any unique whose value is below the average reroll value should, in theory, be sunk more frequently and appreciate in value. If we did pursue a system like this, we'd like to make it feel more in-world than just clicking a button in the interface, which we agree would feel wrong. We feel Cox's issues are unique, and this is a relatively bespoke solution that we wouldn't expect to just roll out willy-nilly to any piece of content that was struggling. We don't expect this to set a precedent on its own. Clarifications aside, the numbers here are considerably more complicated. We recommend checking out the post. To make things easier, a reroll rate that we're toying with at the moment is a 1 in 5? Meaning you'd have a 20% chance of re-rolling into your item into another with the initial item's weighting removed for the... Bro, I'll take that. 1 in 5 is... That's way too fucking common. This is a fairly generous option. It is. In terms of numbers and non-pro scroll uniques that it would likely introduce, which we're comfortable moving ahead with due to the trade-off involved and likelihood of... I mean, 1 in 5 is like... It's just fine. It's not even overpowered. You know, 1 in 5 is perfect, actually. I think 1 in 5 is actually on the less generous end. I hate 1 in 5. 1 in 3 would be way better. Oh, no. I can't believe they're making it 1 in 5. That's terrible. No, don't do that, Jagex. Why would you make it so rare? I would hate that. Oh, no. We did see a handful of comments that rerolling is getting nothing. Can admittedly feel quite bad, don't care. Alright, increase purple rate by 5%, decrease combined scroll weighting from 58% to 56%. So, a 2% nerf is shit. Issue, the general time to complete for uniques is extremely long. Ratio pro scrolls doesn't actually change anything, so that's a terrible change, unfortunately. As expected, there's been a bunch of discussion around things that haven't made an appearance, like the Corporeal Beast and the Master of Mixology. Why are they not mentioning the Shadow? While we can't make any commitments, we've said in a handful of replies to players that we're exploring whether or not we should deliver sweep-up styled updates at a greater frequency if we have enough interesting things to do. So even if your favourite suggestion hasn't surfaced yet, there's a high chance that it's in our backlog waiting for its moment to shine. Interesting. Very good. 1 in 5. 1 in 5. It's fucking dirty. Wow. Wow. I'll be honest with you guys. These Inquisitor changes, I don't think people are talking about this enough. I mean, I haven't seen anything on it. This is retardedly strong, like in a good way. I love this. This is big for Inquisitors players. They're basically, for those that didn't catch it, you are losing that bonus 5% accuracy and damage if you're using the mace because the set effect is gone, which is fine. because the mace is getting a 7 strength bonus and a 7 accuracy bonus, which is pretty big anyway. But what they're actually doing here is they're just straight up giving you across the entire Inquisitor set, as of what it is right now in the game versus what it will look like in the future, you're just getting 6 crush accuracy and 2 strength bonus for Inquisitors, which actually is pretty big for things like the Scythe and whatever else is going forward, because it also is getting that bonus percentage. So yeah, pretty fucking strong. Raids 4, very good. 1 and 5 is fucking insane. Wow, I was not expecting that. This is the easiest room in the raid. It's quite simple. You got a big boy. Look at him. God damn. Fuck me. Look at that boy. It's huge.